Alright guys, this is a video on cloning the GM E86 ECM, and on this one you are going to need to open the ECM to get to boot mode using these devices. They cannot read it by OBD, so they will fail. So to get to boot mode, we're going to have to open this, and as you can see, there's the part number. What you're going to need to do is remove the screws. They're I believe 220, and they are 10 of them, and that is what they look like. So they're around all the corners. Once you remove you're then going to have to break the rubber seal that's around, and the seal is definitely just this edge. As you can see, this edge, that is the seal. So you're going to want to use a blade like this, and you want to make sure your depth is right, because you don't want to go where your blade will pass this portion, right? So you want to pretty much have it to where the maximum depth is going to be right there, because you don't want to make it past and hit any components on the board. That's the most important. So where the screw sections are, there's protection on the board, so you can't cut. So what you're going to do, you're going to cut basically here, here, and here, and you keep going all the way around. And at that point, from another angle. So at this point, you're going to want to use your screwdriver, and you're going to stick it between the slot on the ECM, and then you're going to turn it. And then when you turn it, you don't want to dig it into there. No, you're just going to put it at the rim right there, and you turn it. And when you turn it like that, it's going to stretch the portions that still has the glue. So at that point, you can then slide your blade into that section and cut away at the glue. You can see it, and you just gently cut away, and it's just going to pretty much, since there's separation there now, it's pretty much going to split by itself. And you do that all the way around until you break pretty much the whole bead, and you'll be able to then use a screwdriver any part that might be a little bit tight and just turn like the corners like that. And you just take your time. It can take you about 10 minutes to get it really good, and that cover will just come right off. The main thing, you never want to force and try to go down like that, because you can damage your component on the board. You just want to stay here constantly like that, turn, and then just go take your time and cut that bead. And once you get it off, this is what it's going to look like, and you can see just how close the rubber seal is to the board. So that's why you do not want to go further than that. And we are going to have to solder to one point, and there it is, so you can see the exact location. I'm going to show you an image as well. So this is a better view of it, and that's exactly the point where I'm soldered up to there on the board. You're then going to want to hook up your ground here and two powers, one power here, one power here, then your can low and your can high. A little closer for you. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and do this with the KESS, and we've got the tri-core attachment, and the 12-volt power hooks into that, and then from there, this goes to the to these ports. As you can see, the black is ground, red is power, and can high and can low is the green and white. I'm going to show you that in a second. We also got the gray cable that goes here and connects to the boot that we soldered on to the board there. All right, guys, now we're going to go ahead and open K-Suite for KESS. And by the way, guys, I am going to be having these for sale. So it comes with the latest software. So if you want this, just go ahead and click the link in the description, and I'll have it available for you. The KESS, this version with, and on the members area of that I've got set up now. There's still a lot of things missing, but we're going to go ahead and add in all the software for everybody that has purchased from the channel or has donated to the channel. So we're going to go in under here to automotives, right here, cars, and Chevy, and this is already selected. This is the one we want, so we're working on. So then we tell it okay. Okay, so now it's gonna give you description, instructions. You click here, and this is the chipset, and we can see the details. There's the E86 ECM, this is the section where we're going to have to connect up the boot. And we go to direct connection, which you have to do. And this is the exact point where you solder the boot, the wire to get to the boot. Okay. And here are your connections, which I showed you. You've got your ground, can low, can high, and two 12-volt powers, right? And there's the legend. Okay, so now we tell it okay. And this is what we've got. Tell it okay. All right, adjust that a little bit. All right, now we can, the first thing you should do is go to Tool, Select, and do a backup read. We already have that done, so we're going to skip that portion, and then you would save it. And then you would go to reading, you would select. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you so you can see how long it takes. So it's start communication. All right, it's identified the processor and everything. So now we tell it okay. Proceed to read, yes. So now what it's going to do is back up the flash. It's reading it. I'm going to let this run through so you can see how long it takes to read. And by the way, if you ever, on the members area, I'm going to have instructions for properly setting this up, because there are certain things you got to install for this to work properly. You will get some errors, check some errors trying to back up. So all of that will be on the members area when you go to download the software for this. You can skip through this if you want to. I'm just going to leave it on so everybody has an idea how long it takes to read and what the process looks like. So we got another minute to go. In the members area also, we're going to have a lot of different tools. Like I said, anyone that has donated or purchased from the channel, you'll have full access to everything on there. There's going to be a lot of different software, tools, everything. Firmware, there's going to be, we're going to have version files. We're going to have all the stuff that I've discovered and cracked for the GM Global A vehicles. Everything is going to be on there. All right, so now you got to name it. So we're going to call this, I'm just going to give it just call it that. Tell it okay. And it's still going. There it says ECU reading complete. So now we've got that file saved and that file we can go ahead and edit it. So if you have any modifications to do, such as DPF or whatever you need to do, you'll be able to edit that file, and now we're going to write it back. So I've actually got it done, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and write it back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go to writing, and I'm gonna select my file here, and I'm gonna tell it okay. This is what I'm gonna write now to the KESS. This is the modified file. And now it's gonna write that back to the ECU. And I'm going to go ahead and let this roll so you guys can see how long it takes. There are certain ECUs, GM ECUs. Okay. Yes. All right, you got to make sure your file is good. So I'm going to tell it okay. And it's pretty much going to be like what we just did. And this we could also do with the FC200. I'm just doing that with the KESS, but with the FC200 we can do this as well. It would be under, I believe, the D flash. It's gonna take a while. I'm actually gonna pause it and bring it back when we're close to the end. By the way, boys, we also got the KTAG master version for you as well. So if you're interested in that, you can even read more ECMs, back up, and do a lot of more different things with the KTAG version. Definitely check the link in the description. All this stuff is available, and of course, all the correct software to be able to use this stuff and with the proper instructions are going to be in the members area. So anybody that has donated as well, you do have access to all of the software. All right, we're back. It took probably about 5 minutes. And so we're done. We hit OK. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and go to ID. Now we're going to just seal back the ECM and install it back in the truck, and we should be good to go. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, boys. So if you didn't know how this goes, now you know. And guess what? Knowing is half the battle. That's it. That's just the ID. You can save it. It'll just show like the firmware version and that kind of stuff. I'm going to cancel that. And we're ready to go. Back. Exit out of there. That's it. All right. We're back at the truck. I got this unplugged here. We got the computer in and installed, the E86. So now we're going to check and see if our problem goes away. And no limp mode. Currently starts. No check engine light yet. I'm gonna let it run a few minutes and bring you guys back. Also bring it up to temperature. But so far, nothing. It's completely clear. All right, boys, we got a 11 Chevy 3500, and customer called out. They got the DPF error, engine power reduced, as you see there, and showing the water and fuel as well. And the sensor is showing yes, it's water. All right, boys, it's been about 20 minutes. I got it up to temperature and no more problems. Gonna test drive it on the road, but everything looks good. Like and subscribe, boys. Anybody needs help with this service, shoot me an email. My email is down there in the description.